Welcome to Brandon Bair's Audio Visual Club. The program will begin shortly.
For everything.
Look, Brandon Bair's AV Club, episode 3 with Borg.
Wow.
Let's get it, dude.
Magical moment. All right, how are we looking, Koo? We good? All right, let's get it rolling. Welcome to AV Club, episode 3. I'm Brandon Bair. I'm sitting here with Tobias, a.k.a. Borg, a.k.a. Borgology, a.k.a. the man of many names. How you feeling, man?
I just want to start off by saying "yer." So,
what is that?
you never heard like "yer"? Like with something like you gotta say "yer" back. So "yer."
Koo, are you familiar with this terminology?
Look, I'm
to
saying,
me too. I don't know.
It's like a New York thing, but I mean, I'm not from New York, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm straight.
It's early in the morning.
Look.
Obviously, it's showing. Tobias is going a little crazy.
I'm
playing with you, brother. We're sitting here in the workshop, live from Des Moines. Tobias is usually helping out with Sekou with all the visual candy, you know, making this show what it is. Today he decided to sit down and have a conversation with me. So for those of you who don't know who Borg's a visual artist right here in the city, a collaborator and a team member of mine, and we just really have been kind of going at it for the past, year now, getting close to it.
all factual.
I met you at 515 Alive.
Literally,
Just kind of crazy.
that's a really weird experience. 'Cause I was like, I don't know what we were even talking about. Like I just came up to you like, "What's up?" I was like,
Yeah.
"What's good, bro?"
Just kind of a universe.
And then you
thing.
low-key like just gave me your business card.
Yeah, well, I'm not for the small talk, So
Look.
I was like, yo, just check it out and we'll like link eventually, maybe.
Look.
But then I remember I like kind of pulled you aside. I was like, yo, like, what's your Instagram? And I checked out your work. I was like, oh,
Lit.
he's really about it.
Literally, that was crazy. And then we shot Gucci.
No, you shot Gucci, bro. Let's talk about that.
Look,
Like,
we were both there.
we were both there, and like I was in the pit, and I was like, I had my access, but you got literally taken to the next level with it.
Lit.
Like, which was crazy, because like for me, I've shot festivals before. That was your first one, right?
That was my first one ever.
First one ever. And literally Gucci's managers is like, yo, like come get some like more
Bro,
interpersonal
that was
shots.
crazy. Yeah, he was like, we were all getting out of the pit.
Yeah.
Out of the photographer's pit, and then he was like, he just pointed at me. He's like, "You, come here," and I was like, "Bet." And then he's like, "Yeah, just take some pictures of Gucci on stage. It's gonna be tight." I sent him the pictures, and then yeah.
I mean, that's it. That's typically
was
how
it,
those things
yeah.
go. But like, yeah, I remember we all just went backstage. I don't know who the kid we were with is, and I just like glanced and I'm like, yo, is that Tobias kid? And you're like on stage,
Literally, bro.
with Gucci Mane. Crazy. So I guess, how did that whole experience, for it being your first festival, and like being new to the creative aspect of your life, how did that kind of craft your next steps with your creative career?
It was go time.
Yeah.
Like once I realized that, bro, I was like, "Yeah, let's get it. Like it's time to go." Because I
that's
mean,
huge.
like I know it really was a huge
Yeah.
experience for me. And I think like before that, I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing this. Like it's cool." But after that, I was kind of like, "Yeah, it's go time. It's time to make something pop."
Yeah, it had to feel more official.
Bro, it's crazy too
Like
because
those opportunities just happening like that.
yeah, it was wild. And like the girl that was with us that was shooting in the pit that day, she like is shooting for the Bulls now.
Yeah, I saw
Like that's
that.
insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, that's
it's crazy
crazy.
in less than a year, just the growth we've all had from just the small community we had. And I kind of talked with Ellie on the last episode about when you're shooting in those environments, it is very communal. You're working together. You have to share space. And
Yeah.
that being said, I met you at 515.
Yeah.
Shortly, it was like 3 months later, out of nowhere, you hit me up and you're like, yo, I'm shooting this short film called Vibe, and like I really want you to be in it. And I was like, sure, let's do it.
Literally, bro, I came up with the script in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I called Sekou. I was like, "Look, I got this idea. Just you gotta just rock with me. Like I have a guy. He's cool. I'm pretty sure
You got a guy.
He could be some cool peoples." And then I called you. You were downtown in what, like 15 minutes?
Yeah, I was like, let's get it.
Pulled up. I think that's when you first met Koo.
It was.
And then
And Koo had the Ronin,
Yeah.
and all of that. And, fast forward now, literally less than a year, and now we're all shooting AV. We got a lot of other projects going out. Koo's working on his thing. You're working on your thing. Like,
facts.
it's crazy how it all kind of comes together.
That is wild, bro. It's just insane. But yeah, and I think that's really what set it off between all of us. Like saying like, "Oh yeah, it's time to go. Like it's really time to go now."
I mean,
So-
that was the domino effect that sent us to Joshua Tree, California to shoot Deep Space Network, and like that's
Literally.
coming. But it was crazy how it worked out. I never felt more like confident in the city and like just in myself. I was like, okay, it is go time.
Yeah, that's facts.
But you haven't always been to that point. You're kind of new to the creative side of your life. You've always been creative, but just recently you picked up a camera within the past couple of years, right?
Most definitely, bro. Like, I was looking back in my vault of like pictures a while ago. I think like my first pictures I took were like in like 2016.
Wow.
So yeah,
You're really kind of new to it.
and that's like it was at like the last end of like 2016 is where I really started taking pictures and like doing that stuff heavily. Before that, it was like graphic design, like only, and then I picked up a camera, then I started taking pictures, and I started doing like video work. So.
Well, originally you played football at Grandview, right?
Right, yeah.
So
and I bowled. I did.
And you bowled.
Yeah,
that's right.
bowled,
You're
yeah,
a baller, bro.
tight.
I forgot about that. But so what elements of the athletics and like all your time in the athletics cross over into your creative side, or was it a whole new fresh start for you?
It was like it wasn't really a fresh start because I mean like work ethic and then like your passion about it. It's something that carried over, like work ethic. There
Nailed
it.
it.
Passion and just like your willingness to get better every day, because that's what you kind of have to do. Especially like when I play football, you always had to learn something new every day because you had to play a different opponent every week. So learning, and then those two things I said before, passion and just like work ethic, is something that I really brought over to my creative side. Because like I remember the time I was like, I'm not good at this. I have to do it even more. So like I kept doing it even more and more.
I'm curious how the like competitive side of it, did that translate at all?
I don't try having it like being competitive, but it's like my nature because I've always been competitive. So like as much as I say like artists have to collab together and like be a part of something bigger than themselves, there still is like in the back of my mind, like I still want to be better than so and so. Like I still want to get to a level that no one else has reached yet.
Right.
So I think that definitely pulled over a little bit, but not like always like I got to beat the next guy in front of me.
I think that's overlooked in the visual arts community, where like music, people get it, you know, it's just like this is sport, this is competition, like like I'm going for the crown type thing. But I feel like there's a stigma with visual arts where it's like, why are you tripping? Like, you know, you might feel like somebody is biting your style, like to some extent, and people like don't understand how that correlates. While as you know, like right now, Drake and Pusha T's, it's deaded now, but like
super dead now.
It was but like that was just natural. Like it's again, a rap is sport, and I think there is aspects of sport to visual entertainment as well, that often is overlooked.
I think so. It's really hard because like in art, there's a lot of people that are just that can stay in their lane the whole time and just worry about what they do and not worry about anybody else and get on. But there's other people that like thrive off that competition, and like that's how they get on by being like pressing the issue. Like, oh yeah, I'm better than him. Like, oh yeah, like their stuff's trash.
Well, I like let's bring it back to 515 Alive and like even just the festival shooting aspect. There is kind of that stigma of the environment as well, where there's always those couple like alpha male dudes that are like, oh, I'm gonna get on top of the speaker and get the best angle and like not care that you're like standing right there trying to get the same shot. But then there's also people who like have what feels like zero aggressive attitude towards it or like any real passion, and they're just kind of like, yeah, like you can go in front of me, like, yeah, I don't need to get my angles, kind of thing.
There's that stigma, and there's like the gear stigma. Like if you have better gear, it actually make you better.
100%.
Like, that's so trash.
What was that meme I sent you and Koo on Twitter? Oh, it was like shout out Tidal.wave, bro. He retweeted it. It was fuck.
Bro, I don't remember.
Something along the lines of like, yo, I bought the camera you recommended. Why does my shit not look like yours? And like, but it's so like, real, bro. That's because I think people like when they're starting out, they want their shit to be like A1 so bad, but it's really not the gear.
It's
like,
not.
You really have to have an eye for it, and if you don't, you don't.
I think that's what most people like. Like when I saw something else on Twitter the other day, like don't compliment a photographer or like a videographer on his gear. Compliment him on his eye.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like 100%. That's really what it is. Like they could have the best gear, they could have the worst gear, but if they have the eye for it and they can see something like that's really dope, that's what you compliment on. You don't compliment on their gear.
Speaks so much more loudly when you're looking at their work, and it's like, what did you shoot this on? And like, dude, like Alex Fell's a really great example of that.
No, for real.
And he's gonna kill me for saying this. No disrespect, Alex, but like some of his best work is on his iPhone, and it blows my mind. because like it just shows. Like I said, it speaks so much louder to the idea of creativity is like genetic almost. Like some people are born with it. Some people just have it. You could give them any outlet, any facet, and they just succeed with it.
That's a fact.
So let's bring it back a little bit. Like I said, you went to Grandview and you're playing football. What did you just like? What's your major?
My major is digital media production, and I have a minor in photography.
So going into college, you kind of knew like
no, I had no idea.
Did you switch it up or?
So going into college, I was a football player and I was a bowler. Like I was in the communications department at Grandview, and like I had no idea like what I wanted to do. At first, I wanted to be like a radio personality. Mm-hmm. I realized that was kind of whack, and I realized like, maybe this is not for me. Like, cause the radio.
Did you feel like that was an outdated like medium?
Not necessarily, but like I feel like it was really hard for like no reason. Then I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And like around the time I was really getting into graphic design. So at the time I was like, okay, I can still be a communications major and do a graphic design minor. So I was designing a lot and then hoping to get my minor. Well, there's no graphic design minor at Grandview when I was there. And then I was like, so I took all the graphic design classes and then like nothing came of it. So then I was like, okay. And that's when, and then like around that time when I was like, okay, I can't do anything in graphic design, I started getting into photo. I started getting into video. And so, that's kind of when like,
and it just like worked out.
Yeah. It worked out crazily because now I love what I do. Like I could do this every day.
And you totally are. Like I don't know anybody who works more than you do, to be honest. I mean, your constant workflow, it's inspiring. It pushes me. Like I said, after we did Vibe, I was like, it's go. Like,
literally.
Like it's go time. Let's like get it. And again, that's when, we all hopped in a Jeep Wrangler and hit Joshua Tree, California.
Crazy.
But
shout out to Koo for just sitting in the back of the Jeep the whole time, boy.
Shout out to Koo for a lot of shit. For one, like again, making this show what it is, putting in the work, all of that. He's got his own stuff coming out too. We got to get him on shortly.
We got to get him on.
If we're putting the squad on, might as well. But shout out Koo. Shout out Tobias. What's next for you, man? Like, what do you got coming?
So working on my like magazine, like a little zine called Don't Sleep, Just Peep. That'll be out soon. Finishing touches are coming. Books are coming in right now. So that's gonna be really dope. And then working on a short film with one of my buddies, my cousin actually, but he's like family. He's basically like we know each other since we were super little. So working on a short film with him called Beautiful Anxiety. Okay. And then like whatever else pops off.
Any idea when that's coming up?
Should be done within the next couple weeks.
Cool.
It's gonna be tight.
Released shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
Where can people find that? Where can people keep up with you and your work?
You can follow me on my Instagram and Twitter. At Borgology, BORGOLOGY. I like being called Borg though. Like I know, like people call me by my Instagram.
Is that your preference?
Because Borgology is like Borg and then ology. Like so.
See, I call you Borg all the time, and I call Koo Sekou by his full name, and I don't think he fucks with that sometimes.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
So I never know if calling you Borg is like.
I'd prefer people to call me Borg because that's really what it is. Because that on my Twitter and Instagram, YouTube, it's just Borg.
I think it's cool you have an alias. Like I kind of wish I had an alias sometimes, but like I'm just the Brandon Bair. Like
it took a lot of time to find a good alias. Like first I was like the Yeti.
Yeah, it's got to feel right,
and then like. What's my emoji? Bro, my emoji is the floppy disk, and I'm actually gonna run with it.
So you feel good about it?
Definitely.
I know you were kind of tripping the past couple weeks where like.
See, you got the little network symbol, bro.
Yeah.
Koo has the actual world
symbol. The globe.
Symbol. What do I got?
I told you.
See, the floppy disk is. That's where I gotta go.
It was ideal. It really worked for you.
I think that's it.
It fits your vibe.
Yeah.
But cool. So Borgology, pretty much across all platforms.
Yeah, Borgology on all platforms.
New stuff coming out soon.
Factual.
Anything else?
Man, Box Water's better.
Shout out Box Water.
Shout out Box Water for
what? Fortunately, we're not gonna put it that way. We got Box Water now. Was Fiji.
Nice
switching it up. Box Water's better. So this is not a paid advertisement.
This is not a paid
Box Water, get at us. We're really kind of struggling over here. Pay the bills, keep the lights on.
Watch out.
No, we're not. We're good. Everything's good over here. Don't trip. Yeah, man. Appreciate you coming on. I know normally, you're more comfortable back there, but it seems like you did pretty excited to be on, which is cool.
We gotta put everybody on, bro. So
gotta put everybody on. All right, man. Appreciate you coming by. I want to give a quick thank you to Sekou MTR, as usual, for executive producing this episode. Tobias for coming on, but also typically helping out with the creative aspect of things. E&L in Atlanta, he made the intro and outro beat. Brianna Parker in London, she did the intro and outro vocals. Again, Tobias, can't thank you enough for coming by. And then you for watching the show and consuming it and interacting with it. We're still gonna keep putting these out every Sunday. You know, we got it. Like we're gonna keep doing it as long as you guys keep watching. So again, appreciate you, Sekou. Yeah, until next time, we'll see you later. Dude, what a alpha and omega.
Thank you for tuning in to Brandon Bair's Audio Visual Club. The program is now over.